Hello again, it's Matthew here with another mod showcase. So today I've got a little bit of a treat. Some of you may have already seen it by now. I know it's been linked in a few different places, but before I get into that, I just want to give a big thanks to the supporters, the people who donated to the mod. I'll put a overlay in just a sec already, so right here. First I want to say it's just overwhelming the amount of people that have been using my first mod, the one Preston Garvey's wearing at the moment. It's insane to think how many people have been using it, and I want to give a big thanks to those people. You guys have been really patient and very supportive. Haven't seen a lot of negative comments, so you guys are really awesome. Yeah, the guys who donated, you really helped me out. It can be tough working on these kind of mods because you run into a lot of problems, and it can be very hard to fix a few of them. And this mod's no exception. I've ran into a few mods, some which I couldn't even fix, which they irk me, but you know, what can you do? I'll just have to keep working, see if I can fix them. So, yeah, I thought I'd spend a bit of time saying thanks to those people, but that's pretty much that. So, thank you guys. If you want to know how to donate, there's a link on the Nexus mod page itself, with a little donate button right at the top underneath the images. But thank you guys. So, I guess we'll get into it now. You might be wondering where we are. We're in Vault 88, so that DLC mod. Not mod, sorry. The DLC for Vault Tech. It's a little laggy in here because this place, I went over the build limit by about 2 times. So, yeah, pretty insane. Maybe one day I'll do like a walkthrough of it. I'm pretty happy with how it came out, except for the little lag stutters you get occasionally. So if we run down here, we will find the new equipment. Oh god, I'm stuck. There we go. Alright, in here. So, these are the new armor sets. Each chapter I've laid out, including the chapters that were added later to the previous mod, the Iron Snakes and the Salamanders. I don't believe there was anyone else I added after that. But we'll go through each one and yeah, in detail. Sorry if I move my camera too much. I'm kind of new to this whole showcase thing, so I'm not the best at it. The Templars have little engravings that you can actually read if you spend the time. They're from I believe it's a Black Templar Codex. You can find them. I can't read that. Oh well. And he's got a little logo on the side and on his shoulder with some unique normal maps there, which give it a bit of a bump. This is the Blood Angels with a gold helmet and a kind of crystal-like thing on his shoulder where the blood is. God damn it, Preston. Then we got the Blood Ravens and the Blood Ravens Force Commander set. I ended up doing 2 of these because, well, I wanted to do a version with like black trimming and version with gold trimming. Now, black trimming, you say, but that's silver. Well, that's the thing about Bethesda's Fallout 4 is metallic textures actually come out a kind of silver tone when light hits them. That's just because of the image that's reflected onto the armor. So if you were to look through a really shiny scope, for instance, you could see like a weird image of like a sky, a ground and a house. That's kind of what's reflected back onto this, which is like a silvery blue. So in low light conditions that don't have a lot of ambient light, this will probably look a lot darker. And I've ran around with this armor a few times and it has come out darker. So yeah, and then we got the 4th Commander version, which is based on the Dawn of War believe it is Force Commander Angelos. I believe that's him, which is more of like a gold tone, and so I went with that. It's got like a gold backing to it. And then we got the Dark Angels, which is green and red with a bony kind of texture for the secondary color. They also have engravings of a pattern I made quick in Photoshop. That's on the knees, the shoulder pads, and the back. I'm pretty happy with this one. Then we got the Ultramarines. And these guys, pretty basic kind of color scheme. They got a checker knee. So the Ultramarines and the Space Wolves have unique knee pads. And yeah, pretty much just a kind of basic design with a white helmet. Oh yeah, and also the emblem has a bump to it. So it's got like kind of gold wreath with a white logo. In fact, that's something I missed on the Dark Angels, is their logo bumps up too, and it's kind of got a very what do you call it? Just like a sharp edge to it, I guess. So here we got the Space Wolves. These guys, I'm pretty happy with them. They're quite a bit more complicated than a lot of the other ones, in that they got red triangle, sorry, with like a diamond shape on the forehead, which is quite common on like units in the Space Wolf army. We got the logo on the side with like little metal chips coming out of it, red knee, little engravings here and there, and a yellow backing. We got the Salamanders. I might actually tweak this because the secondary like color in the shoulder pad here, or the main color, the secondary being gold, is a bit shiny in my opinion, so I might tweak that. Also got the logo there, and we got little scales on him, which is quite common on characters for the Salamanders. And I got a flame bump here, so as you can see it comes out a little. I'm pretty happy with that one. I don't think I did anything for the back, no, but it's the same material as the shoulder pad, so might, make that a little less shiny. Here is probably my favorite one, is the Imperial Fists. I'm really happy with this one. It's got like a unique collar. As you can see on the other ones, they don't have a collar. I mean, I might go back and add colors to the other ones because I think it works quite well, but yeah. We got a knee pattern with a white stripe down the middle. It's reflected on the helmet and the shoulder pad as well, which I quite like. Kind of adds a bit more color to him. And again, this is black. It just looks silver. So yeah, both of these guys have the same problem where it's like silver, but that's not too bad, I guess. So yeah, that's the Imperial Fist. I'm quite happy with him. And here we have the Iron Snakes, where like a plate armor lock, shiny silver. This wasn't in the original mod originally, but I added it later. Quite happy with these guys. Then we got the Imperial Army, and this is based on the vanilla military kind of color scheme, the green and white. And then we got the Volt Tech, which, as you can see, same kind of materials with the yellow and blue look to it, and the logo comes out a little too. That is the Voltec. Bit of a weird, what do you call it, floor there. And this is where you find it, like what it looks like when you find it. So yeah, I'll show you that in a second, where you can find it and where it is and all that. But first I want to show off the weapons. But before I do that, you might notice as well, if you saw the original artwork, the portfolio stuff, there was a cloth on the front, And unfortunately, I couldn't get that working. I tried it for about 2 weeks to get that working. I spent a while mucking around, see if I could use a vanilla mesh and try and copy that over to the power armor skeleton, but I had no luck. It's pretty difficult. So usually when you're doing these kind of things, you would work off a vanilla mesh, like a dress or something like the Silver Shroud's cloak. But in this case, because it's power armor, it works a bit differently. And unfortunately, it didn't work. Like whenever I brought it over to the power armor, it would just like sit in a clump on the floor of my character, like at his feet. When it was in this mode, I think it was completely invisible, but when it was moving around, it was just on a clump down on the floor, which looked kind of weird, unfortunately. So yeah, that didn't work. I tried creating it from scratch, but I had a bit of trouble. I tried to follow along with a Skyrim tutorial for making cloth, but that didn't work so well, unfortunately. There's a couple things, like I've tried playing around, but I might try again to see if I can get it working, now that I know a few more things about animation, because I did learn about how to sort out animations because of the weapons. I'll get into that in a sec. So yeah, that's the power armor. If anyone can figure that out, or like if otherwise, I'll just keep playing around and see if I can fix it. But if someone figures it out, just let me know, because yeah, it will be a big help, because I'll do like a unique text for each of the chapters. So that's the armor. So now let's get into the weapons. Whoop, bit of lag there. Sorry. Again, this is the vault. So here we have each of the weapons. On this character, I think I got maxed out perks for the weapons skill, but they feel pretty good. I'm playing on very hard at the moment, so it takes a few hits to kill everything. Power armor and the demon hammer both have some electrical damage. It's just to reflect that they're power weapons, and the chainsaw doesn't, but it does a bit more damage than like the power sword. I tried to tweak the speeds as well, but unfortunately I couldn't get that working. I might actually need to make an animation that's shorter for specific weapons if I was to do that. But anyway, let's take a look at the chainsaw first. So firstly, you might notice as well, there's a bit of a ambient noise to the chainsaw, so you can hear like it booming in the background a little. I made it, the first iteration of the sound was quite loud and high pitch, so it didn't really work too well. Because you just, like, I wouldn't want to use the weapon because it was so loud. So I turned it down quite a bit. And these are the swings. I'm quite happy with that too. Originally they were quite high pitch, and it didn't sound too good. And it also had a bit of a whooshing sound from like the vanilla, I think, Chinese sword to it. So it sounds like there's a bit of a momentum going when you swing it. There is a bit of a problem though with the chainsaw, unfortunately. Whoops. Gotta go out into third person. So you'll notice only one of the two chains is actually animating. Unfortunately, this has been a problem for a while. I've spent a while trying to fix it, but unfortunately, it's just, I'm not sure I can. I might have to play around with it a bit more, see if I can try and fix it. But the thing is, I'd probably need to edit the rig and combine both of them into the same rig to get it working, but I haven't been able to do that. At the moment, they're just two separate objects, and they're the exact same object, but only one of them animates. It's really weird, but yeah, so unfortunately they are the same object, they're using the same animation, but it only chooses to animate one of the two, which is a problem. But at least in first person, it isn't much of an issue. You can only see one chain animating at a time, so if you're playing in first person, it's not really so much of a problem. Anyway, so we'll take a look at the other weapons. So this should be the power sword. When my guy decides to equip it, are you gonna equip it? Again, bit of lag in the vault. Okay, here we go. So here's the power sword. I'm really happy with how the colors came out. It's like got a metallic look to it. And it's quite big for the default character, but I'm pretty happy with it nonetheless. In Param it looks a little nicer. It's also got an engraving along the length of it, which you can read. I can't actually remember what it said, to be honest. I translated it to Latin, but yeah, so if you want to read that, you could, I don't know, look at the model. If you drop it. All of the weapons also have blood effects, so Preston's just going to be my little blood dummy for the minute. As you can see, a bit of blood. So I'm just going to grab my sword. Bit of blood, and you saw an electrical effect there too. That's just to kind of signify that it's powered. And finally, we have the demon hammer, which I'm pretty happy with. It's giant on a player model, but in power armor it looks a little better, but it's got its own problem in power armor. This one I'm pretty happy with. I might need to tweak some of the textures again, like I think the gold's too yellow. Might need to play around with that. There is an issue though, unfortunately, with the hammer. In when you're in power armor, any two-handed weapon is one-handed. It's just a problem with power armor. There is no two-handed animation for power armor, so he'll just be wielding it like a sword, for instance, which is a little annoying. There could be a reason why they didn't end up adding an animation. Like it could be there was a clipping problem, or that the armor just doesn't work too well when you got two hands on the same weapon. Maybe in the future I'll try and add an animation for a two-handed, but yeah, at the moment it's going to be wielded in one hand. I'll just show that in a little bit. So yeah, let's move over to where you can find this weapon, because I've talked about this long enough. So let's just run along to the front of the vault where I got some power armor set up. Okay. Yeah, the thing that kills performance in this vault is these lights. They're like physical lights. They actually interact with objects. I originally had them on the roof here, but these ones kind of flood through, so you can kind of see it on the under rail there. They flood through and hit different surfaces, so they're a little less performance intensive. But yeah, originally I had those, and I'd get like 5 frames in the main atrium of the vault. If you wonder, I am using mods. I got I think Homemaker and another mod, another mod to make the vault look kind of nicer. So just pop into some power armor. This is what I'm talking about with the hammer. So see, now it's one-handed, which is kind of annoying, but it's still pretty nice. In first person it still looks two-handed. I can see I'm using both hands in first person. Alright, so let's show you where to find this armor. I'm probably going to cut to me actually teleporting there. But if you're just wondering where it is, we're going to go to the Old Neil Family Manufacturing. It's around the cave, and there's the capsized, sorry. So yeah, it's just down, in relation to the big crater, you can just see it's one block over. So, I'm just going to teleport here. Probably going to cut, just because, you know, there's no need to record this. Okay, here we are at the O'Neill Family Manufacturing. So if we look to our right of O'Neill, we can see there's a giant shack in the distance. You might be able to see some ghouls, and there's a Deathclaw right there. There's actually a few Deathclaw spawners around the place. Like there's one over here and one that spawns here, and there's a I put a bunch of ghoul spawners around here. So yeah, if you wanted, you could just leave these guys to fight each other. I may as well join in there. I also made it so it's you can teleport to this location. I'm just gonna fight these guys. Oh, thanks, Preston. Just gonna rip his head off. So here is the shack, and it isn't. Well, it is nav meshed to some extent, like poorly. NPCs like Preston will have trouble getting in here. You might find he tries to run into a side of a wall, which it looks like he is. Yeah. But if we come in here, we can see the power armor, the chainsaw, the power sword, and the demon hammer. There we go. Found his way up. Good on you, Preston. Yeah, I'm sorry the nav meshing's bad. At least you can have somewhat of a firefight up here, maybe. But knowing how the fight goes, you're probably going to kill everything outside anyway. Whoop. So, I'll just show you how to spawn in some of the armor. Don't know what Preston's doing. So, a few of you guys for the previous mod were requesting, well, were asking how to find the armor, or like how to get multiple sets. For console it's a bit different, but I'll probably make a version for the console with like a crafting recipe or something like that, just because there is no console. Anyway, I'll show you how to spawn in some armor. So if we open up console, I just jumped a little bit there, which is because I'm doing the place at me command instead of the add item. So first we'll go help space relic 0. So it's going to search for everything with relic. We've already got a few things up anyway, but it'll search for every item in the game that's got the word relic in it and bring them up in a list, which I've already got there, but just have to wait for it to actually load it. Come on, console command, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Okay, I'm like, okay, there we go. Okay, it's done. So now we can just go player dot, you could go add item, but I'm going to go place at me, and then I'm just going to choose something like, so we'll just go 0D003 D7, let's go 76 for the torso, and we'll also spawn in a leg, and we'll may as well spawn in an arm too. So now we've got each of the items. They all got world objects, so as you can see, it's got the specific leg for the right leg there. We've got the arm, which also has the emblem that's on the right arm, and the chest piece. And we'll just chuck that over there. So yeah, that's how to find the armor. I'm just going to kill him because he's annoying. Oh, it's down there. Can't reach him. There we go. That'll end that. So if we want to teleport to the location, I'll just show you where it teleports you. It doesn't teleport you too far, but it teleports you far enough so if these enemies were to respawn, you could, you know, have time to react and do things, or back off if you wanted. So that's how to find the armor, how to spawn in the armor, how to get the weapons, etc. So now I'm just going to show you a quick montage, because every good mod's going to have a montage of how the armor looks in game and how the weapons react. So yeah, we'll do that. So catch you guys in a bit. See ya. guys, Matthew again. So after that montage, just wants to thank everyone for sticking around if you stuck around this long, because I know these are long videos. I just want to talk about a few things before I end up. So for PC, well, PS4 and Xbox, I haven't forgotten about you guys. I'm going to be doing something a little different for you guys. I'm actually going to be doing chapter packs, which are going to be like 3 different chapters. 4 technically, if you include the Armor You Find version. And yeah, so they're going to be as individual kind of versions, and I'm probably going to have a version with all of them just in case you want to install that too. But yeah, so this mod is a lot smaller than the first one. I've optimized it quite a bit, so I've used more textures but smaller resolution textures, and yeah, it's getting around, I think, less than half, probably close to a quarter of the file size of the original mod, which I'm really happy about. I've gotten it down that low. So after this mod, I'm actually going to be coming back to the first mod and probably optimizing that the same way. So try and reduce the file size, because I know especially for PS4, you only got like a limit of, I think, a gig version of mods. So I'll keep that in mind. I'll try and reduce the file size down if I can. And yeah, so that's the plan for that. Other than that, I'm considering doing a few more things later on, like smaller mods. So probably the next thing I'm going to do, if I continue on, is probably going to be like another weapon, like a heavy bolter is what I'm leaning towards at the moment. I wanted to do like a plasma gun, but yeah, I'm a bit hesitant because I'm sure there's going to be some difficulties getting like the reloading animation working and the effects, but we'll see. So anyway, that's all for the video. I just want to thank everyone that's stuck around, and I hope you enjoy my mod. So thank you for, playing my mod. I guess I'll catch you later. See ya.